Microsoft is seemingly ready to launch its flagship series, Halo, on rival platforms for the first time, including PlayStation 5 and the upcoming Nintendo Switch successor. Our aforementioned friend, Windows Central's Jez Corden, subsequently corroborated the report. Microsoft, for their part, declined to comment when contacted by IGN. There being no red lines in their portfolio, lines they would not cross of bringing things to other platforms.
Listen, if you are a hardcore Xbox player, if you've been playing Halo your whole life, imagine the noobs you can pwn this time. There's going to be a new wave of people. Oh my God, you're going to get all kinds of kill-taculars. Dog, think about it.
Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
I completely get the frustration or even anger. I get it for anybody that's like, forget it. And I also get it if this is like the straw that breaks their back and they're like, I'm buying a PlayStation 6 next gen, like you said. Yeah. I get it.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and yes, today we got your next dose of the salty batch files, of course. And what we're going to do is have a little theme today, and this is going to be, a lot of these are going to be right before the Xbox Direct, Developer Direct did happen. So it's like the calm before the storm. They get their hopes up. They get this hype level up. They think things are just going to do a complete 180 for them in the direction of Xbox in general. And lo and behold, it ends up being egg on the face. It ends up making them look ridiculous and all the above. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. All right, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is get right to the salt here, of course. And most of these, like I just mentioned, are going to be themed around right before the Xbox Developer Direct, which is great, and explain why of all that sorts. But in addition to that, I like to think of no salt content left behind. So sometimes we have to bring stuff that maybe I didn't cover from before, right? So here we have Clute, of course, making another comeback here, and Clute stating, the day Microsoft won this generation for me personally. This is when they won, guys, so if you can take a look here, way back, today is a special day. We are thrilled to welcome the talented teams and beloved game franchises of Bethesda to Team Xbox. Read the full announce from below, blah, blah, blah. This is when they won, guys, when they thought, what I think, if I'm going to transpire or contextualize this, I want to say, I think at that time, if he wants to think, because right now we're looking at multi-platform, everything under Xbox banner, right? We're here. The Band-Aid has essentially been, and metaphorically been, pulled off. So here, I know he was thinking, and still thought at this point in time of this post, that, you know, there's still going to be some exclusivity under the Bethesda and ZeniMax umbrella. PlayStation may not be getting Avowed, PlayStation may not be getting Elder Scrolls 6, but at this point in time, what's it matter? But that's the day that they won the generation. Not of all time, but the generation. That's when they won for him. You know what? I'll be honest. When this was announced way back when, because this was made way after, by the way. This is a really recent post. This wasn't like I'm taking it from years ago when they just recently acquired them. But I did. When they announced it, I was like, that's a blow. And that's the competitive spirit that I'm looking for that's going to make every competing platform step up their game, because if you can't go anywhere but Xbox, maybe Xbox PC, for those Bethesda games or ZeniMax games, what a win. What a win. Way to bring that competitive spirit. But here we have the fact that he made a recent post of this, and that's when they won the generation. Sure thing, buddy. Sure thing. Let's keep going there. Cold Eastwood here, of course, and again, another ridiculous post, a ridiculous video that he made and stuff, but as you can see here, XNC podcast tonight is going to be spicy. All capital, spicy. That's how spicy it's going to be, but what is it about, folks? As you can see, PlayStation has no games. What I love, they try to spin this, right? No first-party games directly from Sony, no AAA first-party games directly from Sony, to our knowledge for a little bit. don't know when. Well, we do have Ghost of Yotei. He tends to forget about that. Has there been a year that PlayStation hasn't announced or released something? Astrobot, again, was not really garnering much attention, wasn't even talked about, wasn't even announced until the last minute, so to speak. So just to keep the hype on there, to continue the grift, that's what he does. But in addition, if PlayStation had no games, well, now PlayStation has your games, Colt. As far as Xbox is concerned, PlayStation has your games. How stupid is this? Again, the grift is real. He doesn't stop. Looks like a moron, as usual, etc., etc. Will he ever stop? Probably not. That's why we're going to be featured here. Now, if you're asking, with the console war essentially over, because Nintendo does their own thing, and PlayStation and Nintendo are going to receive first-party Xbox games, and Xbox is essentially kind of bowing out of the competing aspect of that, look no further. We're going to always have... I mean, there's still, to this point in time, at the time of this recording, the millisecond of this recording, there's still fanboys, shills, grifters out there not letting this go. We'll see how far they bring this, but the content won't stop because these guys won't let go, and they think that they can push this to some other type of foreseeable win, but yikes. Yikes. But let's keep going here. Everybody's not favorite catfish, Andrea Piccinini, a.k.a. Joseph Cruz, a.k.a. the rebranding of Ascension here. Spider-Man 2 and Interstellar are coming to Switch 2, it's claimed. Claimed by who? You? Goat Gaming? Are you trying to be the next Goat Gaming? Are you pulling crap out of your ass? What are we doing here? Let me see here. Speaking in interviews, I do have Phil Spencer here with us right now. Phil, are we going to see Spider-Man 2 Intergalactic grace the likes of the Switch 2 or even the Xbox ecosystem?
No.
Interesting. To your knowledge, is Andrea Piccinini, a.k.a. Joseph Cruz, a.k.a. Ascension, are they an actual female person, to your knowledge?
No.
All right, and just one more final follow-up question here for you, Phil. I appreciate your time today, of course. In addition to that, between Ascension, between Goat Gaming, between Gaz, between Alex, between all of them combined, do they make up some form of a brain cell altogether, at least one brain cell by chance?
No.
Interesting. All right. I appreciate that. I know you're busy. You've been having a ton of interviews. I'm sure we'll invite you back on the show. I do have follow-up questions for you in a future video here for you. So I appreciate the time and gracing us with your presence. You've been doing an amazing thing for the gaming ecosystem and bringing those Xbox first-party games to the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation console. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. But folks, let's move on from that there. Appreciate Phil's time, but let's get up to our next example here. Oh gosh, Colt's already back, man. Colt Eastwood is already back. Colt Eastwood, man. Someone needs to step in and fix the mismanagement at PlayStation Studios. Maybe Connie Booth? If there's mismanagement at PlayStation Studios, what's going on with Xbox Studios? Why did it take so long for anybody to light a fire under the development for Hellblade 2 for the walking simulator? Why are we not getting things out? Who followed up the Q&A and who was managing that for Redfall? Kind of curious right there, Colt. Trying to figuring that out, trying to really figure that sort of thing out. I don't know. Maybe look at your own house again. Again, folks, this is before the developer direct, so they are very confident that they're going to get some great announcements, and they got some great game announcements, right? But unfortunately, it's nothing to light up here because it's available everywhere. So where's the enigma? Where is the allure to own an Xbox console at this point in time, especially if you have a PC? I don't understand. Let's try to make sense of that. Wait, no, I don't want to burn any more brain cells than what I have to go through every time I read through these comments here on these episodes here. But let's keep going here. So we have some more acclaimed information here. This one being from a stall. claiming that Sony games on Xbox incoming when he's responding to and reposting PC 2.5% of total PlayStation revenue, fiscal year 23. Probably less than the PSVR 2 with a laughing emoji. So, because of this news, folks, Sony's needing a serious help at this point in time. And what's great is, yes, of course, with Xbox, we know that the Xbox fanboys and fans of the like to purchase their games. That's why Game Pass just isn't a thing, right? They love to help fund those games by purchasing them outright. Oh wait, they don't. They rely on Game Pass. So again, that's not going to help Sony out in one slightest bit. It's going to be even worse than what the offerings were on PC for some of those games being ported over there. But keep that IQ pretty high, Estall, because it's not looking good for you, and you look like a complete moron as usual. And put the ass in Astall. Enough said. Now, let's get over here. This one I'm trying to scratch my head at. I'm trying to figure out here. Folks, let's go over here. I have a couple. It's a two-parter post here from the Leprechaun himself, Bitch of Truth. And the first one, and again, these are right before the developer direct, essentially. So the first example here, he goes on, tomorrow will be perfectly balanced, as all things should be. So here we have a case of port begging, not only God of War Ragnarok like he has done in the past, he's port begging for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, thinking these are both going to hit on Xbox, because since Xbox is playing nice, they're going to go ahead and get those games. Again, no one's going to buy those. Unless they're on Game Pass, nobody's going to buy those. Do we understand the difference there? No one's going to buy those. Nobody in that ecosystem is going to buy them. Nintendo fans will buy their games. PlayStation fans will buy their games. Even some PC-centric fans are going to buy the games that are on PC. I'll bet the community of pirating there. But as you can see, absolute delusion at its finest. But we're not done there. Like I said, we have another piece of this. And he puts on another post, right? If this gets announced tomorrow, it better be for Game Pass. And he's talking about Final Fantasy 16 because that was heavily rumored, right? So you think we were about to spend money on it after the PlayStation fanatics they made it exclusive for didn't. They made it for the PlayStation fanatics, yes. Final Fantasy is more of a home to PlayStation and Nintendo than it ever has been or ever will be for the Xbox ecosystem. Those are just the facts. If you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. That's a weird flex. And for you to outright state this to, I'm sure this will get passed around. I'm sure somebody from Square Enix is going to see this stuff and they're going to be like, yo, yeah, unless it's on Game Pass. And they're going to have to kind of recalculate their deal and be like, what kind of a deal are we getting on Game Pass? Because we know these guys aren't going to be buying anything on the Xbox ecosystem if they actually purchase this game, whether it's $40 or less at the time that this was given over in that ecosystem. These guys aren't going to buy it. This is absolute proof and absolute facts of what I state all the time in regards to the Xbox fanatics and shills. They refuse to buy the games. They feel they are owed these games from Microsoft, that they're just pulling money out of their pockets. Here you guys go, from the goodness of our hearts, here you guys go. You get all these games on Game Pass, the value is there, enjoy. Don't worry about ever supporting these games and buying these outright. Please don't do that. Do we see the conditioning here? Do we see why a lot of these folks gravitated towards Game Pass? Because they feel they were owed this from the get-go, from years ago even. It should have been a thing from years and years ago. This is the pure psychoanalysis from these weirdos, from these leprechauns, so to speak, in this instance. But you know what? It's just, you can't get any more real than that, right? For those of us that think that I'm spitting anything nonsensical or that I'm just making stuff up, the proof is right here. These are undoctored, unfiltered, unequivocal facts that we're sharing with you in every salty batch here. Right? If you don't like it, take it up with them. If you don't like it, don't post stupid shit. If you don't like it, change it. I'm just sharing the facts. I'm sharing honest posts from that camp. It's super, super weird. But that being said, we will wrap up the video here, folks. I won't make it too long for y'all. That being said, it's a doozy. Plenty of more to come. Plenty more salt to be had. Like I said, they just won't stop and they just latch on to whatever. But, of course, if you haven't already, definitely leave a like and a comment down below. Would love to hear from you. And, of course, both those things do help out the algorithm. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. We are getting ever so close to that 3,000 sub goal. We are just 140 or so subs away at this point in time. So, absolutely astonishing. Thank you all so much. Of course, as always, from the bottom of my heart, really appreciate that support and the interaction that you all provide. That being said, just enjoy the rest of your day. And by the end of the day, by the end of it all, just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault Gaming video. And until then, take care.